our honored guests, my fellow teachers, great students of Alfaisaliah, I welcome you all to the finals of 2019 Super Speaker. Thank you. In 2015, we started the annual contest that we call Super Speaker to encourage students speak English publicly and to help them increase their confidence. And over the years, many great champions have won this contest. But every year, the contest seems to be getting tougher and tougher. And contestants seem to be getting hungrier and hungrier. And this year, I have never seen such hungry contestants in my life. Gentlemen, please take a good look at the contestants and tell me what you see. They look pretty, friendly, harmless. Is that what you think? Gentlemen, what I have here is a pack of hungry wolves ready to attack. Shall I unleash them? Do you want me to unleash them? No! I will. But be on guard, everyone, especially those sitting in the front lines. Be on guard. Be careful. Do you know why? Because once they are unleashed, tears will be shed, blood will be spilled, bodies will be ripped apart, and no prisoners will be taken. Now let the first contestant be unleashed, and may God have mercy on us all. Gentlemen, give a big round of applause to our first contestant for the day, Hamza Samir Al-Isa.
Hamza Al-Isa.
May I have your attention? My name is Hamza Al-Isa, and for my topic, I chose smoking. Before I start, I just want to ask you guys for a favor. Do any of you smoke? Well, you don't look like it. At least that's what I think. But if you know someone that smokes and you truly care about them, then please let them listen to my message. Our civilization. No, everyone. No, the whole planet Earth suffers from this problem, which is smoking. What is smoking? It's the process of inhaling into a cigarette and letting it all out by exhaling into the wind. Simple, right? Well, it's more than that. What a lot of smokers don't know, that when a cigarette is burning, it creates over 7,000 chemicals. Some of them are toxic, while at least 70 of these chemicals are known to cause cancer, carcinogenic. One of them is called nicotine, which for me is the most harmful one. It's a stimulant and potent parasympathomimetic alkaloid that is naturally produced in the nightshade family of plants. It's used for the treatment of tobacco use disorders as a smoking cessation aid and nicotine dependence for the relief of withdrawal symptoms. Over time, your body becomes addicted to the nicotine in the cigarettes. So, once a smoker finishes one cigarette, their body begins to crave for another. And if they don't satisfy those cravings, they'll begin to experience withdrawal symptoms. They might feel anxious, stressed, irritable, or down. And all those feelings will drive them to have another smoke. And it's a vicious cycle. Not only does smoking a cigarette may cause your death, but it will also make you suffer. You'll be quick-tempered, and your relationships would be a lot worse. It will also affect your economy, because actually one packet of cigarettes is nearly 26 riyals. Someone said that quitting smoking is the easiest thing. He also added, I've done that 1,000 times. This is the problem what most smokers suffer from. They can't quit smoking. And now, everyone, close your eyes. Everyone, close your eyes and imagine with me that you are isolated and no one is there. You're in a cave that is filled with darkness and you can't see anything but the world's most beautiful diamond. You've approached the diamond and you're close enough to grab it, when all of a sudden, out of nowhere, a stone door locked you in your place. You tried to break through, but you couldn't. And now, your fate is to stay on the darkness and to die with this diamond. But only those who have the key may leave. You can open your eyes. Here's a story of someone who found his own key. He started smoking when he was a teenager. How? He had good friends and they led him to have a cigarette. First, he refused, but after a couple of days, he got curious and his friends convinced him. Once his family knew about that, they were so disappointed. He left his friends, but the only things that he couldn't see are the cigarettes and the diamonds, are the cigarettes and the family problems. He started making real friends, and they tried their best to help him. They thought they succeeded, but they didn't. He was smoking without anyone knowing. Then, he ticked. He realized that all the joy and the happiness he had while smoking was an illusion, and that he had to smoke a cigarette to stay normal. And he told himself to not smoke a cigarette ever in his life. Now, do you remember that stone door I was talking about? It's the addiction that keeps someone trapped and can't leave the cigarettes. And as for the diamonds, well, of course it's the cigarettes. But why did I compare cigarettes and diamonds? It's simple. Smokers find cigarettes are so attractive that they couldn't see the stone door behind them. And as for the key, it's how much will you have and how much you're filled with determination. Because no matter how hard people try to help you, you are the only one that can help yourself to leave this small thing that a child can demolish in Egypt, and that causes the death of millions and millions of people. What bothers me more is that some of these people acknowledge the risks they're putting their lives on, and they still continue on this bad habits. Can you believe it? And I'll end my speech by saying, only fools who put their lips on the other side of fire.
المثنى الغامدي.
16.8 billion years ago, our beautiful, enormous universe was born as a result of a phenomenon called the Big Bang. Now, the Big Bang is an expansion, not an explosion. An expansion that was first discovered in 1929 by a scientist named Edwin Hubble. When he was observing the universe, he noticed some galaxies drifting away and going to far, far places. So let's get back to the beginning of the universe to understand all of this. When the universe was a hot, dense point, when it was only hundreds of a billionth, of a trillionth, of a trillionth of a second old, when it experienced massive bursts of expansion known as inflation, in which space itself expanded faster than the speed of light, and the universe doubled in size at least 90 times almost instantaneously. And after 1 second passed from the start of everything, the universe was cold enough for neutrons to decay into protons and create the first two atoms ever, hydrogen and helium. And after 2 seconds, after 200 seconds from the start of everything, the universe was all the hydrogen gas conglomerated together and put under great pressure to form stars and galaxies. But you know, stars and galaxies really doesn't tell the whole story. I mean, it is remarkable that the universe formed from nothing to something that has a diameter of 93 billion light years. But that's the diameter of the observable universe, the universe that we can see, which means that there is more. Even some physical and astronomical calculations suggest that we only can see 4% of the whole universe, and that there is 26% of the universe made of an unknown matter named dark matter. So, you know, these calculations raises a lot of questions in my mind, like, what is the real size of the universe? And why don't we know more than 4% of the universe? And what is dark matter? Well, I think that we can answer all of these questions. Do you know how? By imitating the universe and taking it as a model. Because the universe expanded since it was born and hasn't ever stopped. In fact, in this very second, the universe is expanding. And we should do the same. We should evolve non-stoppingly. We should grow non-stoppingly. We should expand non-stoppingly until there is no questions at all to ask. None of these three questions or no questions at all. Thank you.
خالد العتيبي.
What is school for? When you finish, you don't know how to apply for a loan, purchase a home, or do your taxes. I didn't know a thing about investments, building credit, or getting a job. But luckily, they taught me some amazing stuff, like how to solve variables, and that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I'm so happy I remember the Pythagoras theorem. It helped me a lot. Okay, I'm lying, and let me stop. All the stuff they taught me, truthfully, I forgot. Remember, Mom, when you used to tell me, "What did you learn in school today?" And I would say, "Nah, nothing much." I wasn't being modest. The truth about it, Mom, is I had already forgotten. The truth about it, Mom, is that I had already forgotten. And it's not just me. Millions of students sing the same song. How many of you avoid eye contact with the teacher to not get called upon, afraid to raise your hand in class for fear of being wrong, which proves that school isn't an educational environment to build up the intellect. It's a game you play for grades and how many A's you can collect. It's a game you play for grades and how many A's you can collect. So what do you expect when the most asked question in class is, will this be on the test? Will this be on the test? See, if school put learning instead of testing and memorizing as their top standard, then F wouldn't stand for failure. It would stand for find another answer. And if school is really interested in personal academic success, then students would wake up later, have more freedom, and homework a lot less. And that's not just my opinion. This conclusion has been scientifically tested and proven. Students would benefit from an extra hour of sleep than putting them through the torture of an extra essay, reading 150 pages, doing problems 1 through 60 on a worksheet, and having 3 projects due by the end of the week. Not only is it painless pain, but it's also dim-witted. They give us a huge amount of work, but don't teach us the time management skills to deal with it. See, that's why so many of our graduates are emotionally and mentally broken. School teaches you how to memorize the dots. True education should teach you how to connect them. Education teaches you how to catch a fish. School says, well, yeah, you caught the fish, but you didn't show your work, so it doesn't count. Throw it back in. Seriously, what is school for? If you think if it's not for education, that's just not true. If you still think you're sniffing the glue, the word education comes from the Latin root educe, which means to bring out, i.e. bring the gifts out of a person. But school doesn't bring out much. It just stuffs more information in your head. Well, some of the information is justifiable. You need reading, writing, and some math. But are you telling me that metamorphic and igneous rocks are more important than self-care? If suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death from ages 10 to 24, and Harvard studies suggest that the biggest predictor for success is self-care and emotional health, then why the heck aren't we taught to deal with problems, stress, bullies, or rejection? How about anxiety or depression, things we need in our everyday lives? Bro, I don't even know how to cook. I'm honestly surprised I'm alive. See, what is school for? Some people say you need it to be successful. That is something we do not doubt. But you own an iPhone or MacBook? That's made by a dropout. Do you watch videos on YouTube or Facebook? Doesn't matter which you choose. They were made by a dropout. Do you use WhatsApp or Snapchat? Then thank a dropout. Does some of your home furniture come from IKEA? Well, don't get the bad idea. Don't be a fool. He didn't drop out. Ingvar Kamprad, the founder of IKEA, never even attended school. So please, I'm not saying drop out. Some schools are amazing and some teachers are treasures. But I'm saying that there's a difference between people who are smart and people who score better. There is a difference, a huge difference between people who are smart and people who score better. I'm saying that no test will ever determine your future, whether it's qiyas, tahsili, or qudurat. They say those determine your LIFEs. No, your destiny is in your hands. You shape it to be great. Don't expect school to open doors, because it's most likely to slam them in your face. Sometimes I think about all the dreams in school, about all the potential lost. Everybody close your eyes with me. Imagine a student sitting in the back of the class in some teacher's class. He never gets called upon. He fails most of his classes. But inside of him lives a passion. And if it's nurtured and brought out, it will lead him to discover the cure for cancer. But I'm sorry, I'm afraid, gentlemen, that this gift will never be brought out. He will never win the Nobel Prize because in class he was ignored and his worth was only judged by his score. So parents, advisors, teachers, principals, and students, I ask one more question. What is school for?
سالم الخياط.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming. Air pollution consists of chemicals or particles in the atmosphere that pose serious health and environmental threats. But what causes air pollution and what does it mean for our planet? There are two main types of air pollution. Number one, greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases, when we burn fossil fuels to produce energy, they release gases into the air. These emissions, such as nitrous oxide, carbon dioxide, methane, and fluorinated gases, trap heat from the sun in Earth's atmosphere, which leads to global warming. The second main type of air pollution is smog. Smog is a type of air pollution that reduces visibility and has serious health effects. Smog can also harm plants, irritate the eyes, and lead to respiratory distress. While air pollution has many consequences, there are solutions. We can limit smog and greenhouse gases by reducing the use of fossil fuels in transportation manufacturing and electricity generation. Decreasing air pollution will lead to better human health and a cleaner environment. You may be sitting there thinking, why is this guy talking about science when it's not science class? Well, I have an answer to that question. You see, air pollution, this topic, leads to the death of lots of plants and animals like us humans need. Can you imagine life without food, oxygen, and many other essentials for us? Nobody would want that, right? So it's either now or never. We either change it or stay as we are and regret it later. Because after all, the future depends on us. Thank you all for listening.
يوسف خوجة.
Heard about it. It's one of the things that makes humans more distinct than the other living creatures, and one of the intelligences in this world. But in my humble opinion, the most important one. Gentlemen, today I'm going to talk about the emotional intelligence, the thing that you all carry in your veins, but in varying degrees. Then, what's exactly the emotional intelligence? It's a capability of individuals to recognize their own emotions and those for others, to discern between different feelings and label them appropriately, to use emotional information to guide thinking and behavior, and to manage or adjust emotions to adapt to environments or achieve the one's goal. The emotional intelligence is important in our entire life. You know, an interesting thing is happening in the 21st century workplace. The more technology we have in this digital age, the more we automate tasks and trust machines to take over duties, the more we realize the importance of emotions. In addition, emotionally intelligent people tend to get along better with others and be more empathetic and compassionate. They're likely to be more successful compared with their counterparts, and that makes emotional intelligence is something worth learning more about. If emotional intelligence sounds like an oxymoron to you, that's understandable. We tend to think of our emotions and our intelligence as two separate things, but put them together as emotional intelligence. And it's essentially a different way to be smart, because it's the capacity to be aware of control and express the one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically, according to the dictionary definition. We live in an age that we can earn a certification in any number of topics that we want to boost our careers. But sadly, we can't earn one in emotional intelligence, and that's something we have to, as individuals, to recognize it as important. Choose to improve it and continue to work on it, probably for the rest of our lives. But the payoffs are worth it, as we become better employees, better spouses, and all around a better people. In the end, emotional intelligence is something we must learn because we need it in our life, and we must use it, maybe not for ourselves, but to understand people, and as well as it could be a weapon that you could use it to destroy the people around you. So you have to be wise and be careful. And thank you all for listening.
محمد الحربي.
Hello everyone, my name is Mohammed Al-Harbi and I'm in 9th grade. Today I'm going to be talking about cheating. Now first of all, what is cheating? Cheating is against advice and working unfairly in order to get the advantage. Types of cheating. There are many types of cheating and I'm going to say some examples of it. For example, I have cheating in marriage, and it's to hide one or more flaws either from the men or the women to accept the other party. And this is one of the biggest causes of divorce. On the other hand, we have
cheating in exams, the injustice of the diligent student and the lazy student. And because of cheating, the lazy one may get more results than the diligent one, which affects their future. Last but not least, cheating in trade. The seller provides customers with comfort items and claims that they're original, such as electronic devices, which causes fire and death. In conclusion, a lot of people in this world have cheated in their lives, but we all know that's wrong. Even the Prophet Muhammad said that it's wrong. According to the Prophet Hadith, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ passed by a pile of food on the market. He put his hand and found the food was dampness, wet, although the surface was dry. He asked, "O owner of the food, what is this?" He replied with, "It got damaged by the rain." He asked politely, "May you put the wet food on top so people can see it? Who cheats us is not one of us." So why do people refuse to cheat? Thank you.
عادل الحازمي.
Buddy, I really do appreciate it that you come and honor me to my last speech in the 9th grade. Before we begin, can I please ask you one question? Just one question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Tell me, what do you want to be? Let me guess, a pilot? A doctor? Come on. Look, I really do respect that if that is your real passion, but let's be honest, everybody. Not everybody's passion is becoming a doctor or a pilot. Let me give you an example of 3 lines. Imagine 3 lines in front of you. The first one is red, the second one is green, the third one is yellow. The red line wanted to be a circle when it grew up. So when it graduated, it told the parents that it wanted to be a circle. And they said, "No, of course not. I didn't raise you to serve your society rolling on the ground being a circle. Maybe you could become a circle while everybody is shining being stars." So it thought, and eventually it became a star. The green line wanted to be a rectangle. So when it graduated, it told the parents that it wanted to be a rectangle. But unfortunately, the same response with the red line's parents was on the rectangles. So we have 2 stars right now. The yellow line, last but not least, the perfect line. It wanted to be a star. So when it graduated, it told the parents that it wanted to be a star. And guess what was the response? "Yeah, that's my boy. That's why I raised you. I'm so proud of you, son. Bring it in, son." Adil, what do you mean by all the shapes and rectangles? Can you please explain a little bit? Okay, let me break it down to you, okay? We need every single shape in this community. We need circles to shape as tires and move cars. We need rectangles to shape as walls and protect us. Can you imagine having a tire in a star shape? Of course not. The car will not move. That doesn't make sense. Can you imagine having a wall in a star shape? Not safe at all. The point is, and the message is from this example, be who you want to be. Because this is your life, not your parents' life or not your friend's life. Not anybody's life. This is your life. Everybody looks for happiness. Find your happiness by following your passion. Imagine if you spend 12 years studying in school, 4 to 6 years studying in university, just for 1 year of parents' proudness, you're going to end up being bored your whole life. I'm not saying don't let your parents proud. I'm saying make them proud in the things that you love, in your passion. Your parents don't want you to be a failure, don't want you to be bored your whole life. They just want you to prove that you earn their trust. They just want you to prove that you earn the position that you want to be in. On your deathbed, you don't regret the things that you did. You regret the things that you didn't. Imagine spending your whole life following your fake passion. When you look at the mirror, don't look at yourself, look through yourself. Look at the true you. There's a type of people that I don't want you to be like. The type of people that are over 50 years. They don't know who they are, they don't know what they love, and they don't know how that they serve the society. Don't be like them. They have a purpose, I know. But make your purpose noble. Make your life count. Make the mark in your homeland. Thank you everybody for listening, and I really do hope that my speech tickled your hearts, and I really do hope that I get the title Super Speaker of 2019.
Let me guess. While you were watching, you were thinking, wow, look at that student, he can speak. I wish I can speak like that. I have news for you. If you're thinking that wishing is gonna get you anywhere, ain't gonna happen. These speakers haven't been wishing all this time. They've been practicing. Have you been practicing? If you practice 10 times and you can't speak this well, then practice 20 times, 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, until you are that good. If you are super in the heart, you can do it. Now I know we all are excited to know who the 2019 Super Speaker is. And I'm afraid there is only one way to find out, and that's to join us 2 weeks from today in the awards ceremony, as we will reveal the Super Speaker, the Super Writer, the Most Improving Student, and Class 2019 Super Students. Until then, thank you and goodbye.